afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to the In-Center, which is the home of I Love Rewards. I am David Brennan. I'm actually the Chief Financial Officer of I Love Rewards. And on behalf of Razor Suleman, our CEO, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, he's actually traveling down in Boston, unfortunately, and the rest of the I Love Rewards team, we'd like to welcome you here today and hope that you actually enjoyed your lunch and are going to enjoy the panel presentation that we're doing today. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the moderator of today's event, Kira Vermond, who is a writer and editor, and she has a fantastic byline. A writer with flair, focus, and intelligence. So I'm doing a speech next week on finance. I might steal that line. Finance with flair. I love it. Kira has an extensive background. She's been a columnist weekly with the Globe and Mail careers section. She's currently engaged with the CBC on a bi-weekly careers segment, writing a book, which will come out next November. And she's done a lot of writing and consulting in sort of the HR, work balance life area. And for those of you who are interested, she also does a lot of corporate communications and dealing with that. So we're very excited to have a dynamic moderator like herself, and I'll pass it over for her to introduce the panel. Thank you, Kara, for coming.
This thing's heavy. And actually now I know why I'm always so exhausted listening to you talk about that. The book is coming out in January, actually. I think I would do something much more drastic to myself if it was coming out in November. Well, thank you so much for coming today. I have to admit that I cannot watch the television show The Office anymore. I know it's supposed to be hilarious, I know it's supposed to be funny, but I have to say that it really hits too close to home. Because when I was just out of university, and I was quite green, I worked for a company that was worse. Yeah. I had a manager, we all had a manager, that would literally stand at the front door with a stopwatch to watch the employees walk in. This was a place where the term, flex time was the new F word. There were literally fistfights that broke out at company events in front of clients. You'd open up a dictionary and the word morale was just not there. And of course, a lot of people left, a lot of people came, the attrition rate was unbelievable. So after about 2 to 2.5 years of this, I decided to go on vacation. I really, really needed it. I went to go hike the Chilkoot Trail, which I don't know if anybody's ever done this before. It's up in the Yukon, Alaska, northern BC. It's not a relaxing vacation, but compared to what I'd just been through, it was actually quite luxurious. So the first 2 days were beautiful. Beautiful weather, beautiful hiking. We're going through Alaska. It's fantastic. The third day, though, when we got to the third day, it was horrendous. We had terrible, terrible, terrible weather. It was foggy, it was soggy, it was just nasty. I was wearing a poncho, and as I found out, you're not really supposed to wear a poncho when you're climbing something called the scales. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a picture of the scales. People 100 years ago, they used the scales to get over the mountains in order to get to, basically it was the gold rush. It was 100 years ago. And it literally is like this. And when you're hiking it with friends, and they're in front of you, they're kicking rocks about this big back at your head. And I was starting to show the first signs of hypothermia. I was wearing this poncho. You can't see your feet. You're not supposed to do that. And I remember thinking, if I ever get out of the situation, if I ever get off this mountain, I'm going to go back to my work. I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to go freelance. So obviously I survived, and I'm here. And I think the one thing I realized, there are a couple things actually that I realized. I'm so happy that I did leave that job and I'm doing what I'm doing now because I really, really enjoy it. But I did realize that there was something really good about working in such a dysfunctional workplace. As a writer, you realize really quickly that any sort of bad experience turns into great material. There's lots of things you can write about. But also, what I learned was, if you've worked in a place where everything is done wrong, you really appreciate what happens when a good employer steps up to the plate. And I've had the opportunity to speak to, I think, everybody here at this table at some point, and lots of fantastic companies in Canada and around the world that have done really good things for their employees and ultimately really good things for themselves. They were able to really help their own companies by hiring fantastic people, keeping them engaged, keeping them focused, and offering basically, benefits, rewards, anything that you can think of to keep them at this sort of top tier. And today, of course, we have some of Canada's top employers in the room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce our panel, and then they've been so kind to agree to answer some questions today. And then at the very end, for the last 5-10 minutes, we'll open up the floor to questions that you can ask the panel yourselves. I'm going to start with Gord Johnston at the end of the table. He is the Vice President of Human Resources for Bayer Incorporated. Do you go by Inc. or Incorporated?
Inc.
Inc. Okay, Bayer Inc. Bayer has 3 subgroups in Canada. There's healthcare, material science, and crop science, and approximately 1,200 employees in Canada. Gord, who has a certified human resources professional designation, also has extensive human resources generalist and management experience, both in the private sector and the public sector. He has considerable experience in acquisitions, divestitures, and successfully integrating companies. He has also instructed human resources courses at the community college level, as well as criminology courses at the university level. Gord has helped both Bayer Crop Science Inc. and Bayer Inc. to be recognized as top employers in Canada. Thank you for coming. I'm going to go on to Brian Scudamore. Brian is the founder and CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, a Vancouver-based franchisor dubbed one of the fastest-growing companies in North America. Brian started the company at the age of 18 and later went on to franchise 1-800-GOT-JUNK as a way to expand operations rapidly across North America. After several years of hypergrowth, 1-800-GOT-JUNK now has over 300 locations in the United States, Canada, and Australia. Australia? Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. Brian is a media master. 1-800-GOT-JUNK has been featured in over 3,000 news stories, including articles in Fortune magazine, CNN, Business Week, and the Wall Street Journal, and the Globe and Mail, as I can attest. He has appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Dr. Phil, and Rachel Ray. Brian also contributes a monthly column to Profit magazine. He has been named he was named the 2007 International Franchise Association's Entrepreneur of the Year. He has also been recognized with a Fortune Small Business Best Bosses Award, been named a finalist for Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and ranked in the Globe and Mail's 40 Under 40. I mean, it actually goes on and on and on. I think we actually get the idea here.
I didn't give you that.
No, it was somebody who knows what their stuff did, actually. But obviously it's a wonderful place to work, and I've heard so many good things, and I've written so many good things about 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Karen Wensley is the Canada People Leader for Ernst & Young. And I think we've talked about this Canada People Leader so many times. It means HR. I had to ask a few times about this. As Canada People Leader, Team Leader, Karen has overall responsibility for HR functions of Ernst & Young in Canada. This includes recruiting and retaining the best people, helping these people build satisfying careers at Ernst & Young, executing workplace inclusiveness strategies, and providing overall leadership for their people-first philosophy. You were also a tax partner who led Ernst & Young's tax services to technology, communications, and entertainment clients. She spent 20 years servicing clients in a variety of high-tech industries and also provided consulting services to the federal and provincial governments. Before joining Ernst & Young, Karen taught at Master University, where she also obtained her MBA. So thank you for taking time out of all of your busy schedules to come see us today.